I've seen people who trade just the 5 minutes time frame and they are super profitable. They may not have the best marketing win rates because that's what most of you fall for. A win rate that is marketable. Oh, I won 12 trades in a row. Oh, the Signal community is up 750 million pips. Many of us traders come into the trading space with a lot of positivity and enthusiasm, with good hopes that this is the one thing that is going to change our lives. This is the one thing that is going to set us on the right trajectory. Only for us to get into the industry and realize that we actually do not know what it takes to make money. We actually don't have the skill sets. We actually don't know how to figure out profitability with trading. I used to struggle too with trading as well until I found the way out, which has allowed me flip my life in ways I did not expect. I'm not promising you that this video will change your life, but what I guarantee is that I will give you the blueprints that change the game for me. There's one thing that makes traders struggle a lot, and this is their inability to embrace uncertainty. It is sad to find out that we are playing a game of uncertainty. We are in an industry where the outcomes are actually uncertain. In fact, we are more certain that we'll lose money than we will make money. If you've been trading for a while now, this will not be new to you. There's a higher chance of you losing money than making money. In fact, most profitable traders lose more than they win. But what the point is that when they win higher. I'm going to come into that later. But I'm talking about the problem of uncertainty now and how we need to embrace uncertainty. We have this thing about trading that we feel if we get profitable, we'll be assured that we'll make money at the end of the month. We'll be assured that we'll make money on more trades. We just need that assurance that comes with every regular business or a regular day job. You know that at the end of the day, there's a paycheck coming. At least you're going to get paid for your time, right? Even the smallest things, even any business at all you're doing, more often than not, there's a certain outcome. If you buy a certain commodity or you buy a certain product, you sell and you make money. But with trading, that's not the case actually. It's just a very uncertain game. Just like you tossing a coin. If you're tossing a coin, you don't know whether it's going to land on heads until it's just pure probability. So when anything is linked to probability, there's a high chance or there's a high uncertainty rate there. Now, what you need to do as a trader is embrace the fact that you do not know what the next trade outcome will be. I don't know if I'm going to win. Okay, today I lost the trade and I did not see it coming. In fact, I thought it was going to be a winning trade because everything was neat, lined up, system was executed flawlessly. By the end of the day, I lost the trade and I was like, this is one of those trades I will never expect to be a loss. But at the same time, my mind was open to the fact that any trade outcome can lose. You don't lose money or win money for being right or wrong. You lose money or win money to game of probability. And when probability lines up with your edge, then you see that you make money long term. So when you're in the trading space, you need to embrace uncertainty. When I'm saying embrace, I don't know if you understand the magnitude with which I mean embrace. I mean accept that uncertainty is the order of the day. It's not just by saying, I accept uncertainty. I understand that I'm not gonna know the outcome of my trade. It goes as deep as not feeling bothered when you take a loss because you knew that this is one of the two outcomes. You either win or you lose. You either make money or you lose money, right? So, but when you have it at the back of your mind that some way, somehow, I do not know what my trade is going to be. I don't know what my trade outcome rather is going to be. So that way you're positive. And when something is uncertain, do you risk too much? No, you don't risk too much. That's why I'm not in this video. I'm not talking about the generic get a job, trading is a game, don't risk too much, journal. No, I'm giving the in-depth things I might not have spoken about, which would shaping your mindset a whole lot as to what made me escape that struggle you're going through right now. That struggle of placing trades and losing and going back again and losing again and going back, and eventually blowing your account and you're asking yourself, am I cut out for this trading? I'm so bad at this trading. I don't even know how to make this trading work, right? You see all of those issues, I'm going to be addressing them in this video. If you embrace uncertainty, you need to understand that losses are not a bad thing. When you embrace uncertainty, basically what that means is you're okay with the fact that a trade could be a losing trade or a winning trade, and then you don't attach any form of positive or negative energy to either outcomes. So rather look for something else to attach a positive or negative energy to, because as human beings there's polarity within us, be it as it may, because of basically we are living beings, right? So we like to have a good and a bad. So instead of you attaching the emotions of positivity and negativity, or oh, a profit because I made money is a good outcome, and because I lost money is a bad outcome, rather make the good or bad outcome with you following your system or your rules. So that way it allows you to not really focus on, oh, am I in blues or am I in reds? Do you understand what I'm saying? So this way it will allow you to understand that losses are not a bad thing. In fact, they are inevitable and they cannot come to an end till the end of your career. You will never stop losing. I think I spoke about this in the last video. You will never stop losing. The day you stop losing is the day you stop trading, and that is the end of the career for you. Until tomorrow, until next tomorrow, a year after, 10 years after, so long as you're in this business, you will continue losing money. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do to change it. In fact, the more you keep trying to change it and the more you keep trying to avoid losses, the longer you fuck yourself up and the longer you actually finish the money in your pocket. Money you're actually meant to use to make trading work out, you'd finish that money in trying to not lose money. So what I'm saying here basically is that detach from positive or negative outcomes when it comes to your profit and your loss. Rather, your positive and negative outcomes should be on the fact that you executed your system, or you followed your rules, or you did not follow your rules and maybe you made a mistake. Understand that this is something you have control over. Tell me now, if you made a mistake today, you can correct the mistake tomorrow, right? Good. But if your money is taken in the market, you might not be able to collect the money tomorrow except it's by luck or by chance or by your system playing out, right? So remember that the same system that will make you lose money is the same system that will make you money. So it's not about whether or not you made a mistake. Yeah, there are times you make mistakes and it will make you take losses, but the point here is that you are executing your system as neatly as it possibly can, as flawless as it can, in its best form. And if at all you make a mistake, because you're human, you actually correct the fact that you should not make this mistake again. Not, oh, I lost money, I don't want to lose money again. So if your focus is, oh, I lost money, I don't want to lose money again, you're focusing on something you can't control. But what you can control is your executions, what you do before you place a trade. If you follow all the rules on your checklist before clicking buy or clicking sell, these are the things you have control over. So you need to focus on those things you have control over and leave the ones you don't have control over to distribute themselves. Because the truth is that if you're able to focus on things you have control over, the ones you don't have control over will just align. That's the point I'm trying to make. So when you see losses, I'm not talking about profits here, because usually everybody just likes profits, but I'm talking about losses because it creates a whole lot of emotional pain that should not be there. I took a loss today and I'm recording a video today, right? And it doesn't even bother me because, first of all, it was a predetermined risk. I knew that if the trade had gone well, I would have made 2.2 times what I risked, right? And also I knew that long term, even if I take losses, I will end up being profitable. Meaning, if I take 2 wins in a row, or if I take 2 losses and 2 wins, I'm profitable. If I take 1 loss, in fact, if I take 2 losses and a win, I'm profitable because it's 2.2, so I'm going to be 0.2 up in profit. My TPs are usually 2.2R because it helps me cover for some overhead costs in my trading. So if I take minus 1R and I make 2.2R, I'm plus 0.2 in profit. Do you understand? So we need to eliminate this idea that losses are bad. We need to avoid losses. How do I stop losing? My last video talked about losing streaks, and I made that video to really make you guys understand that you cannot avoid losses. You can't stop losing, but there's a way that you have a normal losing streak and there's an abnormal losing streak, and how to avoid the abnormal losing streak that will make you potentially start changing systems and blowing up your accounts. I talked about that in the last video, and now again I'm telling you that losses are inevitable. You can't avoid it. Now the only thing you can do with your losses is ensure that they are smaller than your wins, like I explained to you. So when you're losing a trade, you're losing a small amount of money to win a bigger amount of money. So let's say you're losing $100, or you're risking $100 of the trade, meaning if the trade goes bad, you lose $100. So if that trade goes in your favor, at least you should make 200 or 250, so that in terms of long losing streaks, you easily recover your losses and come back out, so that you can eventually be profitable, right? So it's a game of how it's not a game of how can I avoid my losses, it's a game of how can I manage my losses so that I can be able to save my accounts for the winning days to come. The third point is something I love people in the industry overcomplicate, and that is simplicity. Simplicity is everything. Overcomplication does not equal profitability. The fact that a system is difficult, it takes your time. You have to sit your ass down, analyze a whole lot of charts, do this, do this, do that, put in this indicator, put in that indicator, use this confluence, use that confluence. It doesn't mean you will not take losses at the end of the day. No matter what you do, you take losses. So why even making it easy? Why are you making it difficult? Just make it simple for yourself. Because at the end of the day, what makes you money long term is repeatable patterns. When something is simple and repeatable, it's easier for you to do it over and over again. One, it's also easier for you to stick to the rules that you made on how to execute that system. So guess what, it's more like an autopilot thing. You come today, execute, come tomorrow, execute. Because at the end of the day, even if you come today and come tomorrow and just keep clicking buys and sells randomly, you might end up profitable. It's just that it's a 50-50 chance. But with a system, it's more than a 50-50 chance because we have an edge. So when you're trying to build a trading system, don't try to look for the most complex ones. That was how I did back in the days. I used to feel like, oh, it's the complex ones that will make the most money because it means that we can basically predict every tick in price. Every tick, every move, every nitty gritty that price does, we can be able to predict, and then that way we'll make more money. But at the end of the day, I almost ran mad because tell me why I would do all my analysis and do everything I want to do. At the end of the day, price will just disrespect the level like it was even there. That tells you that the market has some level of randomness to it. But in as much as it has some level of randomness to it, it still has a particular way that it delivers that will allow traders to be profitable long term. So long as you study something within how it delivers and use it to build a repeatable, simple system. It's harder to do. It's easier said than done, to be frank with you. I understand that fact. That's why sometimes I always recommend that someone should just teach you what they do so that you can use it to fly from there. Do you understand? But the point I have is not who teaches you, whether you teach yourself, someone teaches you. That's not my point now. What I'm trying to make you understand is that whatever you do in trading, apply simplicity. Anything complex does not serve you. It is still equal. At the end of the day, the man who has a simple system will just make money. Do you know something happened there? In my early trading career, I used to see people who trade one time frame as stupid people. You don't have sense. How can there be a lot of time frames and you just pick one? You're being lazy. That's why I used to think, they are being lazy and they're formulating stupid strategies. But you know that as of right now, my knowledge, I'll call myself a fool for thinking that people who trade just one time frame are lazy. Because you just need a pattern that is repeatable and simple to replicate, or better put, easy to replicate. That is all you need. So if that pattern that is easy to replicate just needs only one time frame, brother, rock with it. You don't need to be everywhere. I've seen people who trade just the 5 minutes time frame and they are super profitable. They may not have the best marketing win rates because that's what most of you fall for. A win rate that is marketable. Oh, I won 12 trades in a row. Oh, the signal community is up 750 million pips. That's what you guys like, and that's what is enticing you. You think that's reality of trading. Those people that are catching those pips and may not even be profitable. Yeah, they may not be profitable, maybe one home shot. They actually could pay other people who are profitable to drop signals in their channel so that they can make money from you. They are businessmen. But you would hear someone like me telling you that this is what changed the game for me. This is what made me tap into constant profitability. This is what made me make multiple withdrawals. This is what changed my life. If you maybe go to my Instagram, I don't know if I still have those pictures there, and see how I was when I started trading and see how I am now, you know that there's been a flip. Things have changed around here. Do you understand? And it did not just change by chance. It's when I started applying these things I'm telling you about that I realized that, let me tell you something. Let me make this make sense to you, just in case you have issues of complications. Have you noticed that the wealthiest people you know in the world are not the hardest workers? There are people who work smarter. There are people who actually take calculated steps. They plan their moves and they execute, and boom, that's it. But you see the people who work so hard every day, toil, grind, every day they're on the job, every day they're struggling, working hard, they really don't get the money at the end of the day. Do you understand me? I'd say I am in the 1% of people my age. I'm pretty young. I would say I'm the 1% of people my age. Very few people my age have access to the amount of money I have access to. Very few people my age have access to the connections and networks I've built through the money I have, right? And what I'll tell you is that I'm not the highest. I'm not the most worked out person in the room. I'm not the pro hard work. I work a lot. I know that for sure. It's just something that my habits have built over time. But I will not stand and say, oh, I work the hardest, you can't outwork me. I'm not in that class. So you will outwork me, but I will be richer than you. You will outwork me, but I'll make more money than you eventually, because I understand that this is what I need to do. I just need to do simple, easy steps, right? It may not be dumb simple. Understand me now. It must not be dumb simple that, oh, a 2 year old will understand. But at the end of the day, it's something that is easy to replicate because it's not so complicated. That is all you need for your trading. You don't need to draw all the SMT divergence and all the turtle soup and all the etc. ICT boys teaches, right? All you need is the basic stuff. The basic stuff. Have proper risk management and make sure you good a risk to reward. You use a good risk to reward ratio. That is all you need. You don't need someone to tell you we have to sell at that macro and with this micro and with that this and with that. That's bullshit. That is complete bullshit. I did not make money trading doing that, so I can't preach it to you. It might have worked for someone else, but that's not what worked for me. What worked for me is simplicity. I have the easiest system I've come across. I think I have one of the easiest. It might not be the easiest, one of the easiest systems I've come across. If my students watch this video, comment below how you think on a scale of 1 to 10, how easy you think our system is. It's pretty simple. You do the same thing over and over and over again. Every single trading day, you do the same thing. The setup shows up every trading day. You may not take a trade every day, but the setup will line up every trading day. Then the days you're not taking a trade, maybe there's a confluence that is not met, maybe there's an entry criteria that is not met. But every trading day, it's a pattern that repeats itself, and it is easy to execute so long as you understand basic stuff. So how then would you not be profitable versus you're the individual who you just want the most complicated thing. You have a bunch of lines on your chart. That is not what makes money. Wake up, my guys. Wake up. This is the last point. Don't look to change your life. Let it come when it does. Don't force it. Right? Don't strive for it. Just do what is required. That's all. Do what is required. Show up every day. Consistency. Consistency beats hard work. You do a whole bunch of work in one day, and someone who's doing the same thing over and over and over again, the person will outwork. Or I don't want to use the word outwork because I just spoke about hard work. That person would win at the end of the day. It's crazy. It's crazy how life works. It's crazy. So don't force changing your life. Oh my God, Prince Will has changed his life. Oh, this trader has changed their life. Oh, my life is still changing, Seth. My life is still changing. I'm still on a journey. I'm not where I want to be yet. And I'm not bothered because I know I will eventually get there so long as I keep doing what I'm doing that's gotten me to this point. Right? So that's the same thing you need to apply. You don't have to force it. You don't have to say, oh, I must get it else I'll die. It's not a game of motivation, because the more you do that, the farther away you are from trading success. It's just do what is required. You show up every trading day, you make sure you manage risk, you follow the system, you're done with your trade, you journal. In your spare time, you backtest and gather data so you gain mastery over your system. You rinse and repeat. That is literally it. Rinse and repeat. Do this consistently for 1 year. If nothing has shifted in your life, don't watch my videos again. When you see me, just scroll and pass. Oh, that guy's not a serious guy. It doesn't take too long to change your life. It just takes doing the right things, taking the right action, and not overcomplicating things. Keeping things simple but consistent. That is actually the rudiment to not just trading but everything in life. In almost the last 2 years of my life, I've succeeded in almost everything I'm doing because of this same principle I applied. Not just to my trading, but every other business I'm trying to get into, every other thing I'm getting my hands wet on, I'm seeing very rapid success. Literally, when did I come on YouTube? It's the same thing. I just make sure I come and I give value and the channel grows. I come and give value and you're happy, you're impacted. Do you understand? The subscriber count, you may watch this video, you like the energy, you click the subscribe button and we grow. But the point is, I am not even after the growth. You hardly would see me say subscribe. I don't do that. I don't need you to subscribe. All I want to do is make sure I've left an indelible mark in your trading. That's all. That's all. I don't need you to like, I don't need you to comment, I don't need you to subscribe. You don't see me say any of these things, except it's very paramount. And so if you have this problem, drop it in the comments. Let's know how to address it. Rather, you'd even hear me say, if you have the problem, DM me, because I am after impacting and giving that value. So I am just following the process and do what is required, which is what I want to do. I'm not compelled to do it. I'm not getting anything in so quote unquote reward, except maybe like the YouTube paycheck. But then what happens is I'm not even after the YouTube paycheck because it's very minimal compared to what I make in trading. But the point here is I'm trying to make you understand processes. I'm trying to make you understand how life works. And this is exactly what happens in trading. You don't just want to jump. I can't I might wake up tomorrow and probably I'm like at 10k subs, and it is not even my goal, but it's coming. But a lot of people who it's their goal, they are struggling, they are trying to get there, you're trying to get there. But when I'm just focusing on what is required, which is giving value, giving shit ton of value, the channel just grows. The community is getting larger. My impact is being felt. Same thing with your trading. If you take your eyes off changing your life, buying the luxury cars, buying all you want. I remember that I when I started out trading, I was trading with a very small techno phone. Maybe I should put that phone on my shelf one of these days, and you see, whenever I see it, it just reminds me, you know. So you don't have to force anything. All you just need to do is do what you need to do. What do I mean? This is what is required of me to be profitable. That is the only thing I am doing. This is what is required for me to win long term. That is the only thing I'm doing. I'm not doing anything out of impulse so I can make the fastest money. I'm not doing anything out of impulse so I can make all the money I want to make today. Walk away with this. You can't make life changing profits in one trade. If you make life changing money in one trade, you lose life changing money in that one trade as well. So understand that when you are approaching trading, if you've been feeling like you're bad at trading, you need to approach it from a different perspective now. It's not a do or die affair. It's just something, it's a business you're building, and you have to take your time to build it the right way. It's not about complicating it. It's not all about being so binge and being so attached to a certain outcome. Embrace uncertainty, right? Losses are completely normal. Stop avoiding losses, rather manage them properly. Learn and look at your system and look at how would my system better manage my losses. Do all these things and see if your life is not going to actually flip around. You're not doing these things to see if your life will flip around, but you're doing these things to get ahead in life. And by getting ahead in life, in turn, what's happening? You're doing way better than everybody. I remember when I started out trading, everybody around me was like, this trading thing, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? But now they are respecting me. They are meeting me. Family members who want to sign up to my mentorship because they know that I would not answer them. They fucked up. I won't answer them. And guess what? I don't give them a slot at the mentorship because I know that you have to just pay for your shit. That's how my life is, right? You have to. Nah, you can't fuck up and then I take you in. Nah, you fuck up. That's it. Do you understand? So I want you watching me to make sure you've taken notes. If you've not taken notes on this video, go back and watch this video. Take notes and ask yourself, how can I stop sucking at trading? How can I stop? Do the opposite of everything you're doing now and you'll be profitable. If you're not journaling, start journaling. You're not risking accurately, start risking properly. Your risk to reward ratios, you don't allow your trades run to TP, you just exit anyhow. Stop doing that. Do the opposite. Allow your trades run. Do the complete opposite of everything you're doing now and see whether things don't flip around. I've spoken too long in this video, but I just wanted to make sure I pass my message. Videos like this don't come by easily, but when you see one of them, make sure you pick all the nuggets inside of them because it is what you need to change your life. I'm Prince Yolo. Until I touch base with you, be safe.